You're only a what if away from a great summer holiday. What if it's Aussie for travel? It's Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins.
Good morning.
Welcome back,
Hi.
Petey.
Hello, I'm back. I'm back, everybody.
Pete,
I'm back. I'm alive.
people were quite concerned because Joel, who came in every morning very early and replaced you, he did a great job.
Well, hang on a second.
He didn't replace you.
Yeah, can we just chat about this for a second? I mean,
He pushed some buttons.
another
while you
man in
were-
the studio. How did he go?
He's not my Pete, but he was lovely.
Was he?
Joel's fantastic, but he's not Pete.
Was he better than me?
No, he's not Pete.
Okay. Oh, but he's not Pete. Doesn't really answer that question.
We're doing the Pete and Kimber show, mate. No, but thank you very much, Joel, for everything you did. But Joel did give about somewhere in the vicinity of 50 or 60 reasons why you weren't at work this week.
Yeah, I know. My Instagram DMs were telling me they were giving me you were giving me constant updates. And by the way, I'm recovering really well from calf lengthening surgery.
Oh, yeah, cool.
The feet shortening didn't go as well, though. I'm sorry to say.
No, what about the hair transplant in Turkey?
No, that's we couldn't make that because I was still running with the Bulls in Spain.
Yeah.
So
There was a lot going on for you. Meanwhile, we were just here. And unfortunately for you, because you were so sick, you missed our Mighty Cats
I
game
know.
last night.
Oh, look, honestly, my heart bled. I really wished I was there last night. It would have been incredible.
I've kept you in the dark. I haven't told you what happened at the game or what the result was or where it's going, but I'll give you more information later in the show today.
Okay.
But a big thank you to Perth Children's Hospital Foundation for teaming up with us to let these kids go out and have an incredible time at halftime on the Wildcats court last night. And a big thanks to Tyre Power as well, because they support all of that, and it was just a great night. So, hey, when was the last time you had your tyres checked? Visit your local Tyre Power for a free tyre safety inspection, now with 60 stores across WA. But we had a great time last night.
Cody Simpson, good morning, mate. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
hello.
Good morning, guys.
How are you?
Long time no speak. Last time I saw you guys, I was stumbling out of the channel.
Yes, I think we very kindly, you had just done a 19.7 kilometre swim
me.
and then we stuffed your face with a meat pie.
well earned. And chalky milk, you revived me.
Do you remember the meat? Was it a good meat pie? Was it as good as you ever had? Yeah, because
It was a good meat pie, especially after that. You know, nothing tastes better after you do the roto swim.
Well, good enough to get you to come back and do the swim again, because you know it's not far away, February.
God, I reckon I'm probably only about a tenth as fit as I was.
Oh,
in
why? What have you been
2023.
doing? What's been happening in your world?
Not swimming.
So, because I remember, it wasn't, how long ago now did you give up the swimming? Did you retire?
I retired about a year ago, just over a year ago.
And so this has always
yeah,
interested me, like, because so now that you've retired, have you just been sitting on the couch just...
Yeah, what kind of damage have you done?
What's the go?
Absolutely not. No, I still look okay. I'll give myself that. But no, I've been jumped straight back into music, man. I've been in the studio pretty much all year back in the States and filming a few TV series and films and things, and did a stage production on Sydney Harbour a few months back. So I've just been keeping myself busy in entertainment and
Gee whiz.
doing all the fun things and creative things again.
Oh, so we'll speak to you again soon when your next album comes out or when your next film hits.
Absolutely.
Because we've got so many reasons to talk to you. Today we're chatting to you about, you've teamed up with Uber.
Yes, I have, yeah. I've
just
teamed up with them for
driving
the
Uber in
amazing-
your part-time when you've got a moment.
yeah. I thought I needed the part-time. Don't quit your day job, as they say. Partnered up with them and Red Cross, actually, for this amazing campaign on Saturday where you can basically order a Uber courier for free to your house from like 10 till 4 on Saturday, and they'll come and pick up all your clothes and donate to Red Cross.
Mate,
which is really cool.
I have a room at the moment. It's the clothing room because we've got the 3 kids and everything, and we've just recently gone through all of our cupboards. And there's a table there that I reckon has had clothes that have been, itching to get to a Red Cross or something like that for about 6 months.
We all have the best plans, don't we?
The same.
Yeah.
It always sits in your garage or whatever. You got bags or boxes and you don't do it. And I'm a culprit. I've got 3 wardrobes. Embarrassing. And so it's just an amazing way to just, to be able to do it from your doorstep. Like they'll come and grab it for free and take it to Red Cross. So it's a really nice thing.
Have you still got your clothing line?
It's on pause at the moment, but I was running it for a few years, but turning it into something a little broader, which I'll talk to you guys about next time.
Is that all the boxes Uber Courier are picking up all of your merchandise that you're moving on from?
Yeah, honestly, all the unsold.
Hey, Cody, mate, we love having you on the show. It's always good to catch up. This is as good a reason as ever, honestly, to be able to see Uber and Australian Red Cross come together for this clothing drive. So this Saturday, 10 till 4, you just book an Uber for free. They'll come and courier the clothes out and get them where they need to go.
And Cody, the thing is you can still do Rottnest Swim. You just do it the way that Pete and I do, which is just sit on the island, we catch the ferry over, we sit there and we broadcast, and then we eat the snacks.
Much better. That sounds much better.
Well, you're very welcome to join us.
Anyway, yeah.
Good to catch up with you, mate. We'll chat again.
Great to catch up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
See you,
mate.
buddy. Bye-bye. All right, make sure you book those Uber couriers. Get those clothes out of your house and into the hands of people that need them. Hot off the heels of a Logie nomination and a rip-roaring debut, Sam Pang tonight is back.
A Logie nomination?
A Logie nomination, yes.
Awesome.
Yep, absolutely fantastic. It is back on our screens on 10 and we are loving it. We're having a ball.
Well, I reckon then we should probably talk to Sam Pang to celebrate it.
We can do that. He's on the line right now. Hi, Sam.
Hello, Pete. Hello, Kimber.
How you going?
It's a lovely introduction. I'm not used to it from you two, but I really appreciate it.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that because the last time that you joined us on the show, Sam, I was actually off sick and I didn't get the chance to talk to you. And when I heard the interview back, I was...
mortified?
A bit, yeah. I was quite upset with Pete, and I feel like this is a good opportunity for Pete to maybe put an apology forward to Sam because... We did say hot off the heels of a Logie nomination and a rip-roaring debut. And yet this was the question that Pete posed to you last time you were on the show, Sam.
All right. How many episodes before Channel 10 cancels the show? That's horrific. That's awful.
If no one watches halfway through the segment, halfway through the show, it might be on 10 Peach. So it's going to start on Channel 10. And I think they have some sort of barometer as to who's watching, and so it might start on Channel 10, and then by the end it'll be on 10 Peach.
And laughs here, so many laughs, but yet it's still on 10, isn't it, Sam?
Kimber, it is, but also the wheel of inappropriate questions is sorely missed on this show. But also, if you do bring it back and you spin it, you need to be there.
Yeah, that's
just soft. Just for a level of diplomacy, do you know what I mean? Pete's, it's, there's a lack of warmth and charm there, and it felt that was by the way, it was a fair question, Pete. To be honest. I think after Ep 3 or 4, Channel 10 said no, we're happy, so we can commit to season 2. So it was we all know the world. It's up for grabs.
How do you get the guests on your show? Do they rely on you? Do you have producers that are like, I'll get them, or is it like, Sam, you've got some contacts, call around? You're probably going to have more luck than we are.
There's things in season 1 there was a bit of both. I'm not going to lie. There seemed to be, we have a wonderful talent booker, but there was also every now and then I'd just be texting, Ursula or Kitty Flanagan or Glenn Robbins or Tom and say, listen, you're up, guys, I need you. But but that's always, it's just when like season 1 was just 8 weeks. It's just these 8-week stints. So if the kind of the international guests aren't here plugging a movie or something, if they're not here for those 8 weeks, then you're just, they're not here. But that's fine. We had, I don't think I've ever pitched this show as being all about, it's not the Graham Norton show, do you know what I mean? With the 4 biggest celebrities in the world on every week. It's like, no, hang out with me and sometimes my mate, sometimes guests, and hopefully we have a laugh for an hour. But it's not, last week was great though. Rosie O'Donnell was on the show, so that's awesome.
I was going to say,
I'm really finding Rosie really interesting. I've seen a few interviews of her over this last week and heard some on radio too, and I've just gone, she's a bit of a surprise package, I thought.
Yeah, well, we had a wonderful chat. She was a great guest. Like, she had her own talk show, so there was no surprise that she was going to be, wonderful to talk to. And this week we've got Rachel Griffiths popping in, so that'll be wonderful to speak to her. I mean, I'm just a big admirer of her career as an actress, and the guests are a bit of both.
Yeah, great.
Can I come on?
Hey,
Have you got any space?
how's he going to sell you?
I don't know.
Pete, I want to give this the respect that it deserves. Can you ask me again so I give you a proper answer?
Sam, what are the chances I could come on?
No.
I can talk. I'm a really good talker. I can talk really well about just about anything. Really?
We've already got a wheel though, Pete. We've already got a wheel of spin at the end, a wheel of segments.
Oh, Sam, you've been an absolute delight, as always. Make sure you check out Sam Pang tonight. It is returning Monday, 13th of October. It's already last week.
It's tonight.
Mate.
That was
What
Rosie
day is it?
O'Donnell's show.
Do you know what's happened,
this is
Sam?
the thing. You come now, Sam. You
Pete-
can't go after me anymore.
Because,
Now,
hang on, let me give you some background, Sam. Pete has been off work for more than a week, and I've been running this show and doing everything myself, and I don't even know what day it is
And the wheels have
because
come
he's
off.
not been turning up. So
I was going to say, Kimber, from what I just heard then, you might need a break too, by the way.
I truly do, mate. I do.
I thought it'd be nice that it does, everyone does publicity in the lead up to the first show and then that's it. The show's on, but,
Yes.
the series continues.
Of
So
course
I
it
just
does.
pop in,
You literally said Rosie's there last week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. I'm just...
Anyway, I hope the big return on the 13th goes well for you, bud.
Love this, weird or not. Elaine, good morning.
Good morning. How are we?
Oh, we're great. Elaine, you've gone to peteandkimber.com.au, just like a bunch of our other weirdos, and said, I think there's something weird about me. And we're like, cool, let's discuss. Yours is a very interesting one because you can't do anything about yours.
No, I can't.
Share it with us. It's the first we had ever heard of it.
Okay, so I was born with tentacles underneath the end of my tongue.
Why can I feel that now that you've said it?
Do you want me to show you a photo, Pete?
Yeah, can you show me a photo?
I'll show you what it looks like because I could not help but Google it.
As in, are we talking like octopus tentacles here with little suckers on them, or wow?
No, not quite like that.
I've just seen
How would you
the
describe
photo.
them? They're sort of like it's hard
Tendrils.
Tendrils. Actually, tendrils is a great word for it. They're like, they just hang down from
They're
the
like
bottom of
little
your
fangs.
tongue.
Yeah.
So
We've put a photo up on our stories, by the way, on @PeteKimmerBen on Instagram. If you want to go and take a look.
now, Elaine, this is a challenging one because I don't want to say it's weird, but how many people have you ever met anyone with this?
I have not.
I mean,
Nobody else, no.
How many people have it? Like, what's
According to Google, because I have Googled it myself, it's not as common as most people think it is.
I don't think anyone thinks it's common, Elaine.
I've never
I've never heard of it before, and
that's a
I've
very
never
good point.
seen it.
I have never seen it. I don't even know how I would even have that conversation with a random person that I've met to go, have you got tentacles
Can
under
you
your tongue?
feel them, Elaine? What do they feel different? Do they tickle or do they do anything
They
if they go
don't,
across your
no.
teeth?
No, well, they do get stuck in my teeth occasionally.
Do they?
Really?
How long are
Yeah.
they?
I've only got one really long one left. When I was a kid, I used to try and bite them off.
Right.
Well,
'Cause
because
I-
you just didn't feel like anyone else had them.
Nobody else I knew had them. So I was like, well, I'm not normal. I'm going to bite them off.
Oh,
Not a good idea. It hurts.
Do
Do they grow back?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Okay, so you've got that. You're holding on to that last one for dear life.
I've got this image that you're like the caves in Margaret River where everyone snapped off the stalactites. Like you've only got one tentacle left. Like, what made you keep this one?
It just hurt too much to bite them off.
Oh, so it does hurt. Right.
It hurts a lot.
Does
yeah.
it bleed when they'd come off?
They do, yes.
Oh.
I'm so amazed. I'm genuinely
I mean,
amazed.
I've got 4 kids and none of them have them. So
We've
so
got
they
to
don't
figure.
even tell you where they come from or like what they're for? Do they have a purpose?
I don't know, but I do know that they're supposedly develop when you're like fetal stages.
When you're in the womb.
Yeah, and they just didn't disappear.
Right.
Wow.
So we've got a figure here. About 3% of the entire world population has them. All right, so usually we throw this out there and go, is this weird or not? I mean, I reckon by the sounds of things, most likely the answer will be people will get on the phone and go, I find this weird, I don't have it. I'd love to see if we could find just that one other person who's got it.
One person in WA that is with Elaine on this.
Even just one. If there's more, fantastic. Come and find your people. They're here on this show.
I mean, I never thought in my career I would ever be doing like a 131060 call us if you've got tentacle tongues.
Tentacle tongue?
This is so unusual.
All right, Elaine.
Let's find out.
We go all over WA, mate. We're the largest show here. If there's somebody out there, we're going to find someone. All right, so you sit tight and we'll come back and we'll see if we can find somebody else who's got tentacle tongue.
Awesome.
Okay, sit tight.
So we've put it out to all of WA saying, have you got a tentacle tongue? Give us a call. Elaine?
Yep.
You're the only one in WA.
Oh, wow.
It would seem anyway.
So we can proudly give you this badge.
Congratulations, you are weird.
Well done, Elaine. We love it.
And we lovingly give you that badge because it is a badge of honour, and it made us feel sad that you used to bite them off when you were a kid because you felt like they were weird and they weren't like anyone else. And now I wish that you had them all because it's a rad party trick.
It really is, yes.
And you shouldn't have to feel different and feel bad about that. So we give you this badge. But also, I have one more question for you. You've only got one left because you bit them off and they have nerves in them and they're very painful to remove. But could you ever move them independently? Do you have any control over them?
No.
Who's laughing at me?
That's my daughter. I'm taking her to school at the moment.
She loves that. Okay, even more, do they move themselves?
They do not, no.
Okay.
Is your daughter there? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Are you proud Mama's weird?
Oh, she's always been weird. It's not.
Love it.
That's so good.
Love it.
You're on your show, mate. If there's ever a place where you can be accepted as weird, it's this place.
We're your people, Elaine, and we're so thrilled that you came forward to tell us about tentacle tongue. And if we do find anyone, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But so far, I think it's cool.
All right. Thank you. If it ever starts speaking to you, let us know.
Thanks, Elaine.
Bye, Elaine. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. That's so cool. All right, so tentacle tongue.
They're fascinating. Like, legit, if you go and look at this image on Pete Kimberben on Instagram, right? Because I look at that image and instantly I think this is the kind of stuff that, when you see people who are, like, tattooed and then they put horns in their, like, heads, in their foreheads, and people who get body implants, it looks like the kind of thing that people would have done.
Yeah.
Like that they would surgically do.
Yeah.
For an aesthetic.
Oh, the horns in the head's wild because they implant living coral and it grows.
Do they?
Yeah, that's how they do it. It's living coral and it grows.
See, this is kind of what the tentacle tongue is like. I feel like it's something that people would go for because it looks rad.
All right. If you have a weird or not that you'd love to share with us, we'd love to hear from you. PeteandKimber.com.au. Get there.
Famous primatologist and anthropologist Dame Jane Goodall.
Yes.
Like she was just an absolute global advocate for environment, and she researched wild chimpanzees for about 45 years.
Yeah.
And she was an advocate for conservation, animal welfare, environmental education, and she died.
I remember her hugging an orangutan.
Oh, yeah.
That was the famous shot for me.
She's just amazing, but she died on the 1st of this month. And I didn't find out until a bit later, and I was quite shocked by it. And I say shocked, she was 91. But I mean, I was just, she was just one of those good eggs.
Yeah.
But it prompted the release of Netflix's show, Famous Last Words, Jane Goodall.
Right, tell me about this show.
It's such an interesting concept. So it's Gwyneth Paltrow's husband, Brad Falchuk. I never know how to say it. But he's interviewing Jane with the promise that the interview will only be aired after she dies.
Welcome, Jane. Welcome to our set here, which you can see is different than most other interview sets in that there are no cameramen in here. We have 5 cameras operated remotely. We are going to have a very personal, private conversation without any worries about the consequences of what you have to say. You can speak very honestly about yourself.
Because I'm dead, so I won't have repercussions.
Exactly. This will not air until after you have died. So anyone watching this is grieving you at the moment.
Wow.
It's such an interesting concept.
And I'm just saying, this is the first and only episode so far that's been released. So we don't know who else he's done these interviews with.
We have no idea who has been on the list, and it will not be released until they die. So it made me so curious, and it sets a very different tone to other interviews that I've seen, because it does move slowly. I mean, Jane was 91, but also it's very raw and heartfelt, and because you have that in mind during the interview that these are your last words, I think that they're more concentrated. There's something about it that just felt very real.
Well, the shackles are off. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
So I'd be frothing knowing what's coming.
Well, yeah, because she actually said as well, I mean, she even shared a few home truths, like her thoughts on rich people in power like Elon Musk.
Do you have people that you don't like?
Absolutely, there are people I don't like. And I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
Would he be one of them?
Oh, absolutely. He'd be the host. And you can imagine who I'd put on that spaceship.
Who?
Along with Musk would be Trump and some of Trump's real supporters. And then I would put Putin in there. Put them all on that spaceship and send them off.
What a polite way of telling them where to go.
Send them off.
Yeah. But at the end, and this is what I found really interesting, is Brad steps out and allows Jane to give her famous last words, which, as he said, there's no cameraman there. She's just talking to the camera, and it's very powerful.
I leave you to it. Thank you, Jane.
In the place where I am now, I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind.
I cut it off there because I can't give you more. You need to watch it, right? Like, if you want to hear her famous last words, you need to go and watch the Netflix doco, Famous Last Words, Jane Goodall. It's really interesting.
And it's out now.
So this Dear Kimber is one that I think is really going to affect a lot of people. So I got a letter from Michelle that said, Dear Kimber, could really use some help, including finding out what other parents have done in this situation. I believe strongly in my no answer, but I know I'm totally going to upset my learner driver child. I am totally comfortable being in the passenger seat as my teenagers drive me around, and I feel comfortable in the fact they know what they're doing. They have heaps of hours under their belt, and they've displayed correct actions in times of idiot drivers. My problem is I do not feel comfortable with my teenager being the passenger in a car of their friends who have recently obtained their P plates. My heart, my worry and nerves say no way, because I love you beyond words, and if anything were to happen to you, I cannot forgive myself if harm came to you. And I also want to, and if I were to say yes, I understand P-platers have worked hard to achieve their licence. However, I also ask my teenagers to hold off on being their passengers until they are used to driving on their own. This is a phase of life that needs to be accepted, yet I don't want that phone call that says, sorry, there's been an accident. Would love some advice. Many thanks, Michelle.
And Michelle joins us on the phone now. Thank you very much for sending in that Dear Kimber, Michelle.
You're welcome, and thank you, Pete and Kimber, for having me.
Oh, we really appreciate you talking about it. We could have just read your letter and put it out, but we also really wanted to chat because we understand how deeply rooted this fear is, and how it's just so scary to have your kids on the road, in particularly in circumstances that you can't control. So how's it been going in your household?
Kimber, it's really hard because, you know, they've got 40 hours up or whatever it be, and I don't think it matters even if they've got 100. I'm still going to feel the same way that you're not on the road on your own. You're still being supervised, but your friends and yourself, once you go out onto that road on your own for the first time and learn to drive on your own for the first time, that takes a while. How are your reflexes going to kick in and all that sort of stuff? And I just, the kids, sorry, I'm a bit panicked about this.
It's okay. We understand.
You know, they drive out the driveway. You cannot protect them. You know what they're capable of because you've seen their reflexes in certain situations. but you haven't seen the reflexes of those friends of theirs that want them to be the first friend.
I think that's very true, Michelle. And I think too, it's statistically, this is why WA changed the laws about how many passengers P-platers can have in the car, because, of course, when it's just them in the car on their own, that's one thing. But if they've got friends in the car, there are more distractions, there's music, there's chatter, there's laughter, they're having a good time, but it does bring risks.
I actually did say to the kids after I'd sent the Akimba in what I was thinking, that Dad and I don't want you to be the first passenger in a car for your friends. They were not happy with it. I'm just not ready for that.
I remember when I got my P-plates and I came home, this is such a vivid memory, and I asked for Mum's keys and she goes, why? And I said, I got my Ps, I'm going to go for a drive. And she flipped out. And I never understood that until I've heard you speak. And I understand now the reasons why, having kids of my own.
I remember my mum saying, when we all wanted to go down south, we all wanted to go to Dunsborough for Leavers Week, and my mum said, there's no way that you are getting in a car with any of your P-plater friends. She allowed me to drive with other people, but that person was a year older than us and had already had their licence for 12 months, and so she allowed me to go in that. But she's always made other things where you have to get a bus home or you have to... And I accepted that. And I think my mum always became the taxi for all of my friends. So instead of allowing my friends to drive us everywhere, she would say, I'll take you to Fremantle. I'll drive you out to dinner with your friends and I'll come back and pick you up. They made more sacrifices, I think, just to keep me off the roads in the cars with our friends.
And Kimber, that's just perfect. That's perfect. Can we still keep doing that, please?
Yeah.
Let's just keep doing that.
But what I loved about it, Michelle, is that my mum made it very clear, and so did my dad. They made it very clear. I always had an out that if I ever felt that it was unsafe to get in someone's car, that it was okay to say, no, I'm not confident driving with that person. I'm not confident being a passenger in that car, or I think they could have been drinking, or I think if there was ever unsure, I was never going to be in trouble because I could call them day or night and they would be okay with it. And they followed through with what they said. So I always called on them if I needed them. And I think having that level of trust and having a place to go meant that I leaned on that more than taking any risks of being in the car with my friends.
Well, I totally agree with that 1,000,000%, Kimber, and exactly what you said. Like, I've said to our kids, if you're in the car with somebody, chances are if you say, look, I don't like you driving, slow down, or whatever it be, or they're just driving in a way that you don't feel safe, I've said to the kids, because it was said to me, just tell the driver that you're going to be sick.
Yeah.
And I tell all my kids' friends that, because they will pull over so you don't vomit in their car.
Yep, and then get out and call whoever you need to come and get you. This is a great chat, Michelle. I want to be able to put this out to people and get their advice, because I think so many people are dealing with this. So 13 10 60, give us a call and tell us how you handle this situation, getting your new kids, your P-plating kids, and being a passenger in someone else's car, how you're personally dealing with that, whether it's the small, short trips, not being at night, maybe it's you can go to the shops together but you can't go out to this party together. Maybe there's those sorts of rules, but we'd love to hear what you're doing in your home. So 13 10 60, give us a hand. Michelle had called us or written to us and we spoke to her on the phone about the P-plater drivers. She's uncomfortable having her kids drive with their friends when they've got their P-plates, and we've talked about ways to make it easier and how to help that transition, but we want to get your thoughts. Linda, you've got 3 sons. What do you do in your household?
So we lived in the Pilbara, and my 3 sons are 4 years apart, so they all got their licences fairly close together. And we would do the drive to Perth. We would make them do long distance driving, let them get to the fatigue stage to realise what their capabilities were, overtake road trains. We get to the city and they would drive in city traffic. And the important thing, I think, is when you've got kids, you know that they're going to get out and do the wrong thing. You just know. That's a given as a parent. You can bring your kids up the best way possible, but they're always going to have that peer pressure.
Yeah.
So we come home from a softball game, it would be an hour drive. I'd sit in the passenger seat, they would drive with their friends in the back.
Yeah, okay. Linda, it's perfect. I mean, nothing tops experience.
Yep,
nothing
exactly.
does. Sam, what are your thoughts? What's your advice?
My thoughts are we can't wrap them up in bubble wrap to a certain extent. I think there are experienced drivers or drivers, P-platers that have had their Ps for a year or two that can equally just have a crash just as much as a fresh P-plater could with a friend in there. I've gone through this twice with my older boys, and as much, and even to today, that you have that mother's worry, and that will never end. That will never ever end. You just have to let them be, and
I get what you're saying, mate. Like you can put in the work, but at some point you've got to let go a little bit too.
It is bridging that gap though, that I still remember what it felt like to get my license and remember feeling very confident on the road. You know, my dad used to race cars. He taught me how to drive and I felt very confident, right?
Yep.
I remember though, like now I look back and I think 17 seems really young. Do you know what I mean? Even though I felt like I had it together, I definitely think that my confidence was probably...
Sorry, you just kind of glazed over the fact your dad taught you how to race cars,
which
I've never heard of before.
No, my dad used to race cars and so he taught me how to
Vin
drive.
Diesel, like a quarter mile at the time? Or
Gone in
like
60
what?
seconds.
I only raced for pink slips. Hey, Pauline, your son was one of the lucky ones. Explain this to us.
Well, my son was one of the lucky ones. He was travelling in a car with friends and he was distracted by his friends. He looked another way and he landed up into another car. And I was one of the lucky ones. Everyone was all right except the car was a write-off. And I think what we need to do is make them a bit scared, have a bit more in schools about cars as their weapons. You know, they're dangerous weapons, really. And
so I guess,
we've
Pauline,
got to make them a bit scared.
My question for you then is, how did you go letting him back in the car with his mates again? How'd you deal with that?
Well, the only thing is just talk about it, and I think it might have woken him up, and it made him scared. So. So
and you know what? This whole chat, it is scary, but this whole chat too, I think, can apply to plenty of adult drivers that we share the roads with every day. That, you know, it doesn't hurt to reflect on your driving and go, actions have consequences and distractions are terrible. And we all need to, you know, in a world where it's getting more distracting, we all need to kind of just be careful.
Yep. I hope that advice helps. If you've got any more, you can always get in touch with us. If you've got a Dear Kimber you'd like to share with our audience and put it out there for them to have advice on, peteandkimber.com.au.
A huge thanks to Tyre Power and the Perth Children's Hospital Foundation, because they gave us this opportunity to play with these kids and get them out on the court last night at the Wildcats game. Our halftime heroes, the Mighty Cats. And this is a bunch of kids who have dealt with so many challenges with their health and their well-being and have spent so many days and nights in hospital and had surgeries and all the rest of it. And they ran out on that court last night like a bunch of champions.
I can imagine what it would have felt like for those kids in front of that massive crowd to be celebrated. To have that moment. My good. And they all had their jerseys. They were all given personalised jerseys.
Yeah, they all had their names on the back. And when I'm talking about the crowd and the team we've put together, imagine like this team were made up of everything from 4 to 17 years of age. So we had tiny little ones out on the court. We also had tall ones out on the court. And,
so cute.
You know, I will put together a big package to play you tomorrow, because Pete, I know you really wanted to be there.
Well, I'm so sorry that I couldn't be. I mean, after meeting all the kids the last couple of weeks and everything as well, and getting to know them and their stories, and all I could think about last night was them getting out onto that court. I just wish I could have been there. But look, the videos and pics and bits and pieces I've heard and seen so far, incredible.
Oh, you're going to get all the magic tomorrow put together. But Ben Cousins stepped up and said, well, look, I'll coach Pete's team. Let's get amongst it. And we gave him a little pep talk and all of that. And, you know, these kids were so amazing. One of my favourite things about them is that Ben and I said to the kids, look, when you get out there, you're all there to have fun, but play together, you know, share the ball around, give everyone a chance to have a go. These kids were so amazing. They would literally just stop in the middle of the court and look around and think, who hasn't had the ball yet, and just hand it to their mate. It was just wonderful. They were so inclusive. And I must admit, before we went out on the court, this made me laugh so much, is because they really wanted Ben and I to play. And all the kids kept going, are you guys going to play? We're like, no, we're the coaches. They kept asking, and I was having a conversation with Ash, and I said to her, one of our Mighty Cats, And I said, oh, no, Ben couldn't play even if he wanted to. He's had knee surgery and he can't run very well. And she just looked at me and she laughed and she went, hello, I've had major brain surgery and I'm out here on the court. And I was like, what a legend.
That's a great point.
These kids were just epic.
Yeah. We have a bit of audio here. I can't wait to hear this. So Nora... Right, it was one of the kids, little Nora.
And Nora's mum, Naomi, like their family and their friends came to support them. And, I mean, I've got some audio here of Nora's mum, Naomi, after the game, so you can have an idea of how this affected their families.
I'm sorry, I'm emotional again. Watching Nora run down that court, sorry, I'm going to cry, because... it was so emotional when she had the ball and I was nervous for her because she's never played basketball, and then to see her go for a shot and get it in, the emotions that just flooded my body as I'm tearing up now and the goosebumps. It was just an absolute amazing moment, and I know that she will be so proud of herself, and the confidence I think it will even give her more. And from where she's come from 8 months old, not being able to walk, to today having this opportunity to run down that court and shoot a basketball in a hoop that is played by professionals is just amazing. So thank you for giving us that opportunity, and it will be a memory we'll keep forever. So thank you.
Just goosebumps.
Right.
So, I mean, all you ever want for your kids is for them to be able to grow up having the same opportunities as every other kid around them.
Oh.
You know, and you could just see what these kids have been through.
It was the best. And we're talking we didn't even lower the goals or anything. Like these guys were shooting baskets, like proper basketball shots. It was
great.
Brilliant. And, little Nora, before we went out, she went, Kimber, I'm really nervous. And I was like, you don't need to be nervous. Like, channel this. It's just excitement. Get out there and have fun. And you should have seen her smile by the end of it. It was brilliant.
Now, look, a big thanks to quite a few supporters of this. So, obviously, the Perth Wildcats for giving us the opportunity to put these teams on the court. The massive home crowd, who I heard were just sensational supporting the kids.
Yep.
And Tyre Power as well. When was the last time you had your tyres checked? Visit your local Tyre Power for a free tyre safety inspection, now with 60 stores across WA. It's not over yet, so tomorrow after 8, we get to hear the package, hear the kids, how the night went, and also who won, because I don't know who
you
won.
You still don't know who won.
I don't know.
Yeah, great.
All right, so make sure you join us. And don't forget, one more time, tomorrow from 6, we're playing Alpha Bucks Kids every half hour, and we're matching dollar for dollar how much the kids win, all right? So, and donating that to Telethon. So every half hour from 6, we'll catch you then.
Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins, 6 to 9 weekdays. You can't miss Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins, and you can't miss a great summer holiday with What If, with loads of accommodation options, plus flights, car hire and things to do. Book your trip on whatif.com or download the What If app today. What If? It's Aussie for travel.